If you're flying into Cancun and wondering how to get from the airport to your resort reliably, safely, and most importantly without any vacation-wrecking drama, this video is for you. Hi everybody, I'm Nancy, and after years of flying in and out of Cancun and testing just about every transfer company out there, yes, including the sketchy ones that I'm not going to name, we've narrowed it down to our top 5 Cancun Airport Transfer Companies. These are the ones we trust to get you from baggage claim to beach chair on time, comfortably, and without maxing out your margarita budget before you even arrive. We'll walk you through the pros and cons and bonus perks like car seats, drinks, and short grocery stops so you know exactly what to expect. And when we get to our number 1 pick, we'll explain why it stands out from the rest. If this kind of no-fluff, real talk travel advice helps you out, we'd love it if you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss future tips and resort reviews. We're fully self-funded and we stay anonymous so we can give you honest, unbiased info, no sponsorship, no paid promos, just straight up facts. So let's dive in. Alright, so here's the deal. If you're vacationing in the Cancun area, you usually have 2 options when it comes to airport transfers. 1, you go with the transfer included in your vacation package. Or 2, you pre-book your own private transfers. We've done both, and spoiler alert, I'm firmly in team private transfer because while included transfers might be free or included, they often come with a hidden cost, your precious vacation time. Let me paint the picture. You finally land, you breeze through customs because you watched our airport video, only to be herded into a shared bus with 30 other bleary-eyed travelers. Then begins the great waiting game. Missing bags, stragglers, getting overpriced margaritas in the terminal, like seriously, $40? And finally, the never-ending parade of resort drop-offs. By the time you reach your resort, you've lost hours that you've already paid for. And let's be honest, I've paid a lot to be poolside with a cocktail in my hand, not watching someone else check into their hotel while I melt on the shuttle. So yes, private transfers cost a bit more, but to me, they're totally worth it. Now, if you're thinking about going the private route, let me save you the trial and error. We've tested a lot of companies, and these are our top 5 most consistently safe, honest, and reliable transfer companies that we'd actually recommend to friends and family. Just so we're clear, we're not sponsored. None of these companies knows we're making these videos, and we pay for our transfers out of our own pockets, and we're giving you the real deal based on actual experiences. If that's the kind of transparency you appreciate, then let's jump right into it. Before we get into the countdown, here are a few non-negotiables that all of our top picks meet. 1, air-conditioned vehicles, because the only thing that should be sweating is your pina colada glass, not you. 2, English-speaking drivers. It doesn't need to be Shakespeare-level English, just enough so I'm not accidentally agreeing to a sightseeing tour when I want to get to the hotel. And 3, reliable, well-maintained vehicles, because breaking down on the highway is not on my vacation vision board. For consistency, we're going to compare prices based on round-trip transfers to a resort in Playa del Carmen. Once for 2 adults, and again for 2 adults and 2 kids. Not all companies price the same way, so it's helpful to see where the differences come in. So ready to count them down from 5 to our number 1 pick? Let's go. Coming in at number 5 is Happy Shuttle Cancun. And yes, the name really does match the vibe. They've earned a 5 out of 5 rating on TripAdvisor, which is pretty impressive in an industry where just showing up on time can earn you a gold star. Happy Shuttle keeps things simple. Reliable service, good prices, and clean vehicles. Happy Shuttle takes the win for vehicle wraps and branding, even in their luxury fleet. So if you were hoping to roll up in an understated black Escalade, well, Happy Shuttle might not be the vibe, but it gets you there comfortably and safely, and it kind of puts a smile on your face. Now let's talk pricing. For a private round-trip transfer to a resort in Playa del Carmen, it's $136 for 2 adults or $142 for 2 adults and 2 kids in a standard vehicle. Want a little more room and style? Their luxury option comes in at $262 USD round trip, still wrapped in their cheerful branding but with upgraded interiors. They also offer add-ons like drinks and snacks, and super important for families, car seats are available. You just need to let them know exactly what you need when booking. When you land, they'll meet you outside the terminal, aka the jungle, which is the nickname for that area with the maze of drivers and signs once you exit the airport. Happy Shuttle is one of the few companies that allows you to have passengers arriving at different terminals. Just be sure to book it in advance. Next up at number 4 is Canada Transfers, a long-time player in the Cancun transfer scene with a solid 4.6 out of 5 rating. They've been around for years and their staff is known for being punctual, friendly, and on top of your flight details, so there's no need to worry if you're arriving early or running late. They offer both standard and luxury vehicles, so you can choose based on your mood, or whether you want to impress your kids with an SUV that smells like leather instead of sunscreen. Now for pricing, a standard round-trip transfer to Playa del Carmen will run you $137 USD for 2 adults, or $149 USD for 2 adults and 2 kids. But here's the catch. Those prices don't include tax. They tack on an extra 16% at checkout, so make sure you're doing a true apples-to-apples comparison with other companies who include the taxes up front. One of the reasons Canada Transfers made this list, their add-ons are next level. Yes, you can get drinks and snacks, but they also let you pre-order sunscreen, bug spray, after-sun lotion. They have them waiting for you in the vehicle. Because we've all had that moment of realization when we forgot SPF 50 and now we're paying $35 to $40 for a tiny bottle at the resort gift shop. They also offer a complimentary 15-minute stop at a store on the way to your resort. Yep, 15-minute complimentary stop, and you can even extend it to a full hour for an extra $30. This is so useful if you're flying carry-on only and can't bring liquids like sunscreen, or if you're traveling with a child and need essentials like diapers, floaties, or giant bottles of aloe vera for your spouse who didn't need the sunscreen. You can also pay in Canadian dollars, US dollars, or Mexican pesos, which makes things a little easier if you're trying to juggle the exchange rates. Bottom line, Canada Transfers is super customizable, which I really love. Whether you're looking for budget-friendly or bougie, they've got a setup to fit your vibe. In third place, we have Kalido, yet another transfer company with a perfect 5-star rating, and also the most budget-friendly option on our list. For 2 adults and 2 kids heading to Playa del Carmen, Kalido comes in at $110 USD round trip, taxes included. And fun fact, it's the same price even if you're just 2 adults, which is rare and kind of refreshing. Now, before you get too excited, Kalido's competitive pricing means that they often sell out early, especially during peak seasons. I've personally tried to book them for our last 2 trips and they were already sold out weeks ahead of time. You might have better luck during off-season, but Kalido is not your go-to for last-minute bookings. They do offer a 1-hour store stop if you book it in advance, and it costs $40 USD. Handy if you're trying to avoid resort markups or just want to grab sunscreen, snacks, or diapers before check-in. Speaking of kids, they offer front-facing car seats for children up to 40 pounds, but no rear-facing or booster seats, so read the fine print carefully if you're traveling with a younger child. Kalido also offers extras you can pre-order like soda, beer, wine, spirits, sunscreen, and insect repellent. But take note, their sunscreen is $16 for a 5-ounce bottle. So if you need more than a travel size, the $40 store stop might be the better deal. They provide clear directions for locating their reps outside of the terminal, and in my experience, they're pretty easy to find, as long as you know what their signs look like. Bonus tip, if you do want to stop for supplies but aren't sure where, there's no need to stress about picking the perfect store on your route. Their drivers are experienced and can usually take you to a convenient local supermarket that has everything you need. And in second place, we've got Amstar, a well-known name in the transfer game with a 4.2 out of 5 rating. Like all of the companies in this roundup, Amstar monitors your flight in real time, so even if your plane is delayed, your ride will still be ready when you are. You'll find their reps waiting outside the airport alongside the others. Just keep an eye out for the Amstar signs. Now, Amstar is the biggest company on the list and also the most expensive. So this is where it's really important to read the fine print. They offer both shared and private transfers, and the prices can be confusing if you don't double check what you're booking. For example, a private transfer for 2 adults is $199. A private transfer for 2 adults and 2 kids, still $199. A shared transfer for 2 adults is $122. A shared transfer for 2 adults and 2 kids, $244. So yes, you read that right. Booking shared transfers for a family can actually cost more than private. If you're traveling as a group, always check both options because private is often the better deal. Amstar leans a little more into the luxury side of service, even on their standard offerings. For instance, onboard Wi-Fi is included, and shared transfers are capped at 3 stops max, so they're quicker than the typical shuttle included in the resort packages. Another huge perk, Amstar has reps at pretty much every resort, so if something comes up like a delayed flight or a change in your vacation plans, you've got someone on site who can help you adjust your transfer or even talk excursions. It's that extra level of support that makes a difference. Booking is simple. Choose your transfer, input your flight info, they'll recommend a pickup time for your departure. You can also add drinks, snack packages, but keep in mind, they charge for car seats on both arrival and departure, and they also charge extra if you want the option to cancel your reservation. So while Amstar brings convenience and coverage, it does come at a cost, and it's definitely a read the fine print situation. Number 1 is USA Transfers. USA Transfers earns another 5 out of 5 rating after thousands of reviews, and it also happens to be my personal favorite. It's not necessarily the cheapest and it doesn't offer a ton of frills, although they do have some, but USA Transfers has consistently been excellent every time we've used them. They're fair, safe, and reliable. That same round trip for 2 adults and 2 kids to Playa del Carmen Resort is $135 USD, and it's the same for just 2 adults. You can also upgrade to their VIP service, but that will run you more than $100 extra. USA Transfers also offers hotel-to-hotel transfers and transportation to Airbnbs, so there's a lot of flexibility options on their website. If you're doing a split stay between different resorts, or maybe you're attending a destination wedding and then heading to a different property, USA is my top pick. They're great at staying in contact. They even have an app which makes it easy to connect if your plans change. They do offer car seats, but just like Kalido, it's important to note, they have only forward-facing car seats for up to 40 pounds, no rear-facing and no booster seats. Also, they don't guarantee the availability of car seats. If your flight's delayed in the vehicle with your reserved car seats has already departed, you might have to wait a few minutes for another one. They're not going to leave you without any, you just might have to wait for the next vehicle. Now, if you need to grab a few things on your way to the resort, no problem. A 1-hour stop is $35. They also offer celebration add-on packages starting at around $20, including some bling if you're celebrating something special. But honestly, I find their add-ons a bit underwhelming compared to others. I'd rather pick my individual drinks than be locked into some set package, but that's just a personal preference of mine. In my opinion, the best thing about USA Transfers is how they treat both their staff and their customers. They're the only transfer company that I know of that limits their drivers to an 8-hour workday. Most other companies have drivers working 10 to 12-hour shifts. That commitment to safety and worker well-being, along with great service and reasonable pricing, is something that I am very happy to support, and this is why they're my number 1. Prices are always changing, so the numbers you've seen in this video might not be the same when you check, but my goal was to give you a clear comparison so you can decide which option best fits your needs. We're not sponsored or partnered with any of these companies. We always pay for our own transfers. None of them even know we made a video. These are just our honest opinions based on over a decade of traveling in and out of the Cancun airport. Your vacation starts the moment you land, and picking the right transfer company can really make or break those first few hours in paradise. Whether you're looking for budget-friendly, kid-friendly, or just stress-free, one of these top 5 options will get you there safely and comfortably. Have you used any of these services before? Let us know in the comments. What was your experience like? And don't forget to check the links in our description on our Facebook page. Consider using those links to book your vacations. It doesn't cost you a penny more, but it helps support our self-funded channel and keeps our reviews completely honest and unbiased. Thanks for watching, everybody. Happy travels. See you next week.